Hi, I'm Bonnie Serratore, and this is April energy update. Okay, so the energy of April is looking a little different than the last couple months. So when I start tuning into April, I just start to see it's like a shrouding energy. Okay, when I think of shrouds, you know what I mean? It's like you think something that covers up. Okay, so it's a pretty big energy, and it's like a dark, dark gray shrouding. And I see it basically like when I look at the whole planet. I'm just looking to get a sense of if it's all over, and it is. Okay, so it won't matter where you're living. This shrouding energy is going to be affecting you, affecting everyone, affecting all of us. So when I start feeling into what this energy is, and I go deeper into it, then I start to see other kind of energies in this shrouding. This is very interesting. So I look at that energy, the shroud, and I go into it. Okay, as I go into the energy frequency, because it helps me get a sense of, what is it like? What's it feeling? What's it going to be activating? I can literally see, it's kind of trippy, but I literally see almost like little like fingers, or like, when you look in the ocean, and you'll see these all these little fingery looking things that kind of move. So I see these little fingers, and there's something about these little fingers that are going to be affecting people. So as I'm watching and getting a sense of trying to understand what this is, the shrouding energy is, at first I kind of thought it was like a, dark energy. This is not good. Okay. And that's not what's up. It is a shrouding, but in that shrouding, it's all these little fingers, all little fingers all over. Okay. And what's happening is those little fingers of that shrouding, they'll be affecting your physical body. Okay, so just imagine you have all these little fingers just kind of touching you, working you. And I mean, you're not going to feel like someone touching you, okay, but it's an energetic thing that's happening. And what I'm seeing is there's something around those little fingers. Literally, it's like a soothing. When you think about last month and how things like the cocoon thing, and then, like coming in, and then energy is starting to come out. Sometimes when we've gone through really intense experiences, we need that healing time. Maybe we're going to go lick our wound, so to speak. Okay. Like something intense happens, and then we're recalibrating, and then we just have to rebalance. So these little finger things literally will be coming around, around the body. But what it's doing is it has like a little bit of a stimulation in the sense of softness, gentleness, kindness, kind of like a loving kind of energy, almost like, think about like when you're a kid or something, and you went through some kind of intense experience, maybe fighting with another kid, they took your toys or something, and you're feeling hurt. And then you have a mom that would come and hold you and soothe you. Okay. So it has that kind of quality to it, where those little fingered things literally are just like that, gently, gently, gently softening the energy, softening the intensity that one we have experienced, that we've been, going through in these last months. And the shrouding piece, it's almost like some kind of protection, okay? Because I'm also seeing energy shifting, like when we think about the atmosphere, think about the cosmos and the atmosphere and the changes that are happening. There's a lot of intensity happening energetically in the atmosphere. So the shrouding literally is almost like a veiling of protection that's literally around humanity, but it goes around everyone. So even though it's around the earth, that shrouding, everyone is having that layer of shrouded protection around their body. Okay, so it's kind of shielding all of us from this really intense high vibrational frequency that actually has a lot of light to it. But sometimes when the light is too bright, we can't handle the bringing forth of our subconscious. Okay. So the shrouding is literally like in a sense, it's a protection and and a softening. And like I said, those little fingers are literally like, just trying to create a soothing, a calming, like there's an agitation. So if that light were to be penetrating us without that shrouding, it would be activating really deep subconscious hurts, pains, sufferings that's still in the subconscious. And it would be too intense, meaning if you bring too much light into a dark area, it's an overwhelm. Too much will be happening. You can't handle it. Okay. So in order for our bodies to be able to handle the activations that are happening, the awakenings that are happening, the wounding that's being brought to the surface, there is that shrouding protection. And like I said, those little fingers that are all the way through it. It's like on the outside, I see that smooth shroud, but on the inside, when I come in, then I see all these little fingers in there. Okay. So all those little fingers are just, it's like a calming, soothing protection. And it's keeping us from getting whacked, getting the energy is like friggin' too intense. We can't handle it. So that energy will be softening everything for us, which is actually really good. Okay. And what is allowing now is for more of a gentleness, meaning we get activated and things come up to surface, they come into our face. And with that softness of those fingers, rather than it being like being squeezed, sometimes we feel like we're being squeezed or it's so intense we can't handle it. So what's happening now though is, yes, energy is going to continue to come to the surface because we are in that new paradigm. We're in the precipice of the new paradigm. So no matter what, everything's going to come to the surface. It has to. Kind of like when you look at the world, okay, look what's happening. It might seem as though, oh my gosh, everything's in chaos. There's horrors, there's tragedies. This is so bad, bad, bad. But this is actually the darkness being brought and revealed for the whole world to begin to see and witness. It's the shattering of greed. It's the shattering of hatred. It's the shattering of wanting to cause harm to others, okay? It's the heartlessness that's being revealed. Okay, so, but it's also coming up in all of us. Because here's the thing, we all hold all of the emotions. Okay, whatever exists, we have it within. What happens though is when you have negative, dark emotions, hatred or revenge or disgust or wanting to hurt people, wanting to shame and humiliate, wanting to lash out, that energy is a really intense black energy. That energy is inside of everyone. Everyone has it. Okay. But what's happening is with these fingers, what it's doing is rather than we get hurt and we lash out, now we're feeling the hurt, but those little fingers are softening that hurt so that we can move through it, so we can walk through it, so to speak. Okay. Think about this. Okay. We get hurt. Something happens. I guarantee you, things will happen in your world where you get activated and emotions are going to come up. Okay. So what's happening now is if in the past, these emotions would come up, we'd explode, and maybe we'd start lashing out or attacking, that type of thing. So what's happening now is it's the same kind of emotion, but it's different layers of it that are presenting. And as they're coming up, rather than getting really intensely angered or really intensely feeling hurt or betrayed or whatever we're feeling, there's a softening so that we can actually relax into, because in order to know an emotion, which is actually what's being asked of all of us, in order to know an emotion, we need to be able to surrender to it, soften to it. Okay. So if the emotional frequency is so intense that we can't soften to it, what we'll be doing is we'll be just lashing out. Okay. Blaming, hurting, being angry, all of that. And with this kind of energy, what it's doing is the same emotion coming up, but as it comes up, rather than us making it, about out there, because this is our tendency, this is what we've learned. You're doing it. You're the reason why. You're causing this, okay? And this energy, as it's coming up, now with that shrouding that'll be happening in April, the energy now is literally softening the intensity that's coming up through the subconscious. Okay. People during this time period of the new paradigm, everything's going to come to the surface. Okay. It's just a matter of time. Whatever you still have within, whatever's still in your subconscious, okay, whatever is there is going to come to the surface eventually. Okay. Everything's not going to come at one time, but over time, now with these next several years, more and more and more of your subconscious is going to come to the surface. It has to. Okay. This is what this time period is all about. This is the new paradigm. Whatever is of darkness cannot live in the light. Got it? So anything of darkness, anything that is hidden is going to come to the surface. So right now we've got this awesome shrouding happening that's literally holding us, cradling us, so that we can literally face this intense energy that's presenting. Okay. So think about this. As each year goes by, the acceleration intensifies. When the acceleration intensifies, whatever wounding is still in there, it's going to be coming to the surface. Something's going to activate it. That's how it works. All our wounding gets activated. And when it does, we want to be able to navigate it. We want to be able to go through it. If it's too intense, it's like a shattering. We can't go through it. Okay. We can't surrender and soften into an emotion. It's like static. It's like all over. It's like so intense, and when we do that, what happens is, we can't own it, and we want to make it like about something out there. Something else is the reason or cause, but it's inside. So in this month of April, literally stuff's going to get activated, and it's like being held, just that gentle, soft holding, so that we can relax into the emotion, know it, so that in the knowing of it, this is what the soul is doing. The soul wants to know itself in all ways. This is how it does it. Okay, so think about this. When we have something happen, an emotion happens, or some tragedy, let's even say, a car accident happens to a loved one or something really intense. Okay, there's all this energy that comes up and all this emotion that comes up, all the stress and worry or whatever that you're experiencing. It's very intense. What I'm saying is the shrouding that's happening, then those little fingers, let's just say, oh, that accident happens. And normally you'd have all this massive, really intense terror, fear, anxiety, whatever. And now, yes, the energy is coming, but it's softened. Okay, so the intensity is softened. There's like a soothing of it. So yeah, we're still going to feel, like, oh my gosh, the horror of it. But there's like, in even feeling the horror of it, the terror of it, the anxiety of it, it's there, but it's softened, if that makes sense. Because these fingers that are in that shrouding are softening the emotion so that it becomes more palpable, so that we can surrender to it, so that we can know it and feel it and let it move through. So this is a great opportunity. The month of April is a great opportunity to do some really deep work. Like if you've had other things in your life that you wanting to work on, maybe you have an awareness of something and you don't know fully what it is, but there's emotion. Okay. So April would be the perfect time to do that, because the intensities aren't going to be like traumatizing and like rocking your world where you can't do it. You can't navigate it. You can't hold it. It's too intense. Feel like you're going to explode or you're going to die. Okay. So we want to be able to navigate, and the navigating means surrender. Okay. I talk about this all the time. When you're having, let's go back to someone having, a family member, a loved one has an accident, and all that, the intensity, there's intensity in the body. And so that intensity is coming to the surface. And now we can go, now it's like, okay, it's almost like we're going to feel more stable. We're going to feel like we're more capable of showing up. Okay. So I'm looking at this accident over here. I know the intensity. And what happens is it's so intense, we kind of get whacked. We can't think clearly. We can't function clearly. We're distressed. Okay, so the shroud, think about the shroud, covers us. It's like a calming energy. The little fingers are in there to calm us down. And when that happens, yes, the emotion is still there, but the intensity is softened. It becomes a level of intensity where we can really surrender to it, okay? Because if you remember, remember what's really happening here. Remember the teachings that the soul is evolving, okay? How it evolves is through direct experience and knowing itself through the emotions of those direct experiences. So when the energy gets activated, normally it could be really intense. We're on the ground, shaking. I've done that many times. And now it's like rather than losing it, so to speak, now we're more level-headed. Now we're more able to navigate, coming back again. Family has an accident. Okay, really intense. All right, so now I'm more stable, I'm more secure, I'm more capable. Yes, I have nervousness. Yes, I have anxiety. And yes, I have fear. And yes, I have terror. Yes, I have stress and worry, all of that, but it's not so overwhelming that I can't function. Okay. So it doesn't matter what's happening. Maybe it's a divorce. Maybe you're losing your home. Okay, whatever is going through you, or maybe you're realizing, waking up to, something you've been working on or trying to understand or trying to heal your entire life. I know for myself, just not that long ago, actually it was last year, where I discovered an emotion I didn't know existed, and I've been doing my inner work for long, 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 long time. Okay. But I found another piece and then I could surrender to that. So, it's like all these unconscious places where we're disconnected or we've got hurt still. These are going to be coming to the surface. And this time in April, we're just being shrouded and held and protected to help us to just soften and go through, to just gently go through these places rather than feeling like, you're getting ripped apart, because that would happen. I remember a lot of times in my life going through emotions, really intense emotions, the traumas that I've experienced, the horrors, and going through that really intense, you feel like you get ripped apart from the inside out. So that's not so April is the month where there's a gentleness, a gentle holding, so to speak. So we can go through these very, very deep places because people, I'm telling you straight up, everything's going to come to the surface in time. It has to. That's the purging. That's the new paradigm, the live new paradigm, and that's moving into fifth dimensional being, fifth dimensional consciousness, more heart-centered, heartfelt. Okay. So in the month of April, on April 11th, we got a new series. It's called Take It to the Grave. Okay. So on April 11th, it's about grudges. So we want to release grudges so you don't take it to the grave. Okay. And then on the 25th, we have dirty secrets. Okay. Dirty secrets you don't want to take to the grave. These are all going to create angst in your body. Okay. So all these angst, they create suffering, but basically we got cool group clearings that will support you in unraveling and healing and clearing your unconscious. Okay. So just really quickly, I want to do a little bit of an activation for you with this energy shrouding that's happening. I actually want to go into the subconscious, and I'm going to go right into that subconscious. And what I want to do is I'm going to be activating a little bit more of some of the really deeper subconscious wounding that's still a little bit dormant, because April being this shrouded energy that makes things a little more gentle, we might as well go deep into the really dark unconscious energy that's in your subconscious that's affecting you, that you aren't even aware of. Okay. So I'm going to go right into that subconscious. I'm going to go right into that really dark, dark, dark area, really black area right there. I see it. Now I'm going to bring the white flame in, white flame coming in. I'm asking for the light of the white flame. I'm actually going to bring in also the light spears. The light spears are literally spears of light of God creator consciousness in spears literally coming in. Now we're going to go right into that subconscious, bringing in those light spears, calling in the light spirits right into the blackest of black and that subconscious, and also the white flame coming in as well. We're going to be activating that deep, deep, deep subconscious. I want to shatter some of that energy, break it up so it can start to release. Okay. Activating, 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 shatter, 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 shatter. There we go. Yeah, 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 yeah. Good. White flame, white flame, white flame. Shatter, shatter, shatter. There we go. Good. Now that energy can start to be released, start to move, coming up and out of the subconscious and being held in that shrouded energy that will hold you. All right, everyone. Enjoy the month of April.